this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, we're going to be focusing on the downward X strike, or the downward figure eight motion. Okay, this can be done with two Eskrima sticks. So basically, it looks like this. You're going to go 1, 2, park, 1, and 2, park, and that completes the technique right there. But you could keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So for this video though, I'm going to go to single stick so that we can focus on some finer details without getting too complex. Okay, so same thing. So just single stick right now, doing the same thing. You're going from the outside, you're coming from the outside and you're going to the inside. So it's going towards the inside. So we'll call this an inside strike. And then you're going back to the outside. So we'll call this an outside strike. So it goes 1, 2, 1, and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you start making this smoother, you're going to feel that there's a figure eight motion in there. Okay, and you're drawing an X because there's an X within a sideways figure eight. Okay, so a lot of people ask me to show them footwork. Okay. Before we go into footwork, it's very important that you know proper body mechanics. So in order to get proper body mechanics, you have to swing this all the way. Okay, don't do it real short like this, not yet. You have to go make these really large swings. Okay, and if you're outside, maybe you could put in a little bit more power like that. Okay, but if you're indoors, just be careful. Is make sure that they're nice and big swings. This way, the stick will make you have like proper, better body mechanics. Okay, so if you're doing this kind of thing where you're really controlling the stick with your arm and you're basically doing this kind of arm motion, then the rest of the body is not going to follow. Okay, so what you want is natural body mechanics to occur so that the whole body is put in. Okay, so once you understand this, you want to get enough reps that you're putting the body in properly, okay? And then now, even if you make it small, see the body still knows that this is the proper mechanics right here. So boom, as if I'm doing it really large, okay? As if I was putting in a lot of power. My body understands, but I could just go right here, and I could just go right here, okay? I can make it as small as I want, but my body is following proper form, okay? So once again, start off with these big motions, okay? And then, like I said, people ask me oftentimes about footwork. Before we go into footwork, first you need the proper body mechanics of the swing, so make sure you make these large swings. And then the next step is you have to learn how to lean, in my opinion. You don't have to. Most instructors don't teach leaning. I can't do footwork here because I'm in a very confined, limited space. However, the good thing about that is I can focus on leaning, all right? And leaning is very, very underlooked. It's a really good technique to have because I feel it's very street effective. It's very realistic because sometimes in the street, you're going to be in a confined space, okay? And when you don't have a whole lot of room, you're not going to be able to take big footwork. It may not come into play. Also, if your opponent just suddenly comes up on you, you don't have the time to make the footwork. Okay, so you're just going to have to go like this. You're just going to have to lean. You just have to hollow out. You have to turn. Okay, that's all you might get. All right, so you don't get the luxury of moving and taking these multiple steps. Boom, boom. You know, I mean, that's all nice, but it may not happen. Okay, so leaning is really, really good. That's my first point. So let's actually apply leaning to this technique. This very basic downwards figure eight motion right here. Okay, so the first thing, like I said, you need to have proper body mechanics, boom, boom, so that we can combine that with the leaning. Okay, if you don't have that, then this takes you to leaning, and then leaning takes you to footwork. Okay, footwork is an exaggerated version of leaning. So if you don't have proper leaning, to go from just slashing to footwork, it might feel like you're learning two separate things. But if you do have the proper body mechanics, then it'll only make sense. All right, so the first thing is this strike right here, number 1 strike. Okay, if I'm striking here, that means my opponent is here. Okay, I'm striking at my opponent. My opponent's not going to be over here or over there. I'm striking at my opponent. So that's where they are. When I want to, the direction that I want to lean is the opposite way. I want to get away from my opponent. Okay, so if I do the proper strike this way, my weight will be on this side, on the right leg. Okay, so when I do this, my weight is on the right leg. I'm attacking with the right arm. Okay, so boom, right here, that makes the left leg light, real light. Okay, and all my weight is right here. So as I do this, you see, I can actually lean, putting my weight on the right side, and I can lean back like this. This is the proper form. This is the proper body mechanics. And if I was swinging hard, I should still be able to do it where I'm leaning. You see this? I'm leaning right now, this angle. And if I wanted to take that further, then because my left leg is light, I can actually step back like this. So that's my footwork right there. That's one step that I took. And you see now the stick is this way. I am away from my opponent, and I have the weapon in between us. And that's exactly what I want. All right, so once again, I strike right here, and as I strike, my weight is on the right side. So that puts me away to where I can lean back using the right leg. And if I need to take a step, then the right leg pushes off the ground, and the left leg takes that step. Okay, but we're not going to go into footwork right now, just proper leaning. So that's number 1, lean, and then number 2 is a strike this way. So as I go this way, see, my weight is on the right side again, and I'm able to push off the ground to where I lean like this, and that's my number 2 strike right there. Okay, I remember I'm striking this way, which means my opponent is here. I'm striking at my opponent who's right there. Okay, so I'm striking at them, and I want to move away from them to where I could put the stick like this, the weapon between us. Okay, so number 1 is this way, number 2 is this way. So this is proper leaning. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And like I said, leaning will take you to footwork. So as I lean this way, okay, I'm able to push off my right leg and actually take that step with my left leg if I wanted to. I could take that step, and the next concern is now I don't want to leave things behind, so that's where my right leg will now come forward, because I don't want to get that slashed if they also have a machete or some kind of weapon as well. So I don't want to leave my legs behind. So that's the next thing, is to get everything, don't leave anything behind. But it all starts with the proper body mechanics of the stick, okay, like this, and then proper leaning, boom. So I want you guys to apply this, whether you have a tomahawk, a knife, a stick, whatever in your hand. Let's put in this leaning motion right here. 1, 2, 1, and 2, 1, and 2. So thank you for watching, and take care, folks.